It has just gone 8 o'clock Central African time. Good evening and welcome to the news bulletin at 8, brought to you by Eswatini TV. My name is Sanebo Ngwane. Thank you so much for choosing to stay with us. We're coming to you live from our Hospital Hill studios in Mbabane. These are your top stories tonight. The Prime Minister has announced that the country is moving to adjusted level 3 as of midnight and the reopening of schools on the 9th of August 2021 under the new adjusted level. The Minister for Health says people who have passed on due to COVID-19 have had underlying illnesses such as high blood pressure and diabetes. And the Director for Health Services says the rate of breastfeeding in Eswatini stands at 63%. And now the news in detail. The Prime Minister Cleopas Dlamini has announced that the country is moving to adjusted level 3 as of midnight. The Premier says this COVID-19 intervention entails business changes in businesses' operations. And Dlamini was speaking in a press conference held in his offices in Mbabane. Our reporter Sonto Blangeni has more on that story.
Following the rise in cases of COVID-19 and the increasing numbers of deaths in the country, government has made a decision to move the country to adjusted level 3. Announcing these changes, the Prime Minister Cleopas Dlamini explained what the level entails, especially in business operation hours.
Shops will open from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m., while food outlets such as restaurants, petrol station, including petrol stations, to close at 7 p.m. with effect from midnight today. Let me remind the public that large gatherings are not permitted and only a maximum of 20 people indoors and 50 outdoors can attend community meetings. Night vigils and memorial services remain strictly prohibited.
Dlamini further emphasized that Eswatini should continue to adhere to the regulations. Dlamini says in 7 days, 46 people passed on due to COVID-19, whilst 3,215 people contracted the virus. For Eswatini TV News, Sonto Blangeni with Vuminkosi Nzinisa in Mbabane.
His Excellency, the Right Honourable Prime Minister Cleopas Dlamini has announced the reopening of schools on the 9th of August 2021 under the new adjusted level 3. The Prime Minister says this follows the vaccine rollout exercise for educators, support staff. And Dlamini was speaking during a press conference held at his offices in Mbabane.
Government fully recognizes the importance of prioritizing education, even during emergencies, as our educational institutions remain a critical sector towards socio-economic development. Government also understands that schools are not only a place for academic learning, but also for social and mental cohesion, social interaction, and social support. For preschool children, school readiness is critical and has a potentially lasting effect. School closure has not only disrupted children's learning and development, but also access to schools' meals, psychological support, and speedy referral to basic health and social services. I am therefore pleased to announce that government has taken a conscious decision to open schools under the adjusted level 3 on 9 August 2021. This opening is preceded by a rollout of a vaccination exercise for all teachers and education workers from today to the end of the week. A total of 42 centers have been identified for vaccination exercise, and teachers are encouraged to visit their nearest site.
The Minister for Health, Zinkosi, says people who have passed on due to COVID-19 had underlying illnesses such as high blood pressure and diabetes. The Minister was speaking when providing a breakdown of the COVID-19 deaths in Eswatini.
Following the rise in COVID-19 related deaths that are being recorded in the country, the Minister for Health, Zinkosi, says a majority of these deaths are as a result of comorbidities.
Labang 8 balabo sikhanzekwe ukuthi bane high blood pressure and diabetes combined. And
The minister says out of 11 deaths that were recorded on Sunday, 8 people had high blood pressure and diabetes. Nkosi says only 1 person passed after a long illness. Nkosi further encouraged the nation to vaccinate as those who passed on were found that they were not vaccinated.
abantu labaningi labasishiyile ngilabo labangakajovi.
Nkosi says the vaccination exercise is very important and people should embrace and be part of it to save their lives. The Prime Minister, when addressing the nation on Monday, stated that in 7 days, the country recorded 46 deaths and 3,215 cases of COVID-19. For Eswatini TV News, Ndomlangeni Vumi Nkosinzinisa in Babane.
The Minister for Education, Lady Howard, says schools are well prepared to receive pupils when schools open next week. Howard says the ministry will visit schools to ensure that everything is in order for the opening of schools.
Following the commencement of educators' vaccine rollout on Monday, the Prime Minister announced that schools will open on the 9th of August 2021. The Minister for Education and Training, Lady Howard, has assured the nation that schools are prepared to receive pupils.
Kuma nema officials siyawuhlola lala lapho khona sikhanza ukuthi kunetinkinga bakhona bo REO sikhona sonke sibambisana naleso sikolo.
Minister Howard says the ministry will visit schools across the country to check the level of preparedness. Minister Howard says regional education officers will ensure that schools open smoothly. For Eswatini TV News, Ndomlangeni Vumi Nkosinzinisa in Babane.
Director of Health Services Dr. Vusi Makakule says the rate at which mothers breastfeed in the country stands at 63%. Makakule said this on the day of the annual commemoration of Breastfeeding Week campaign aimed at encouraging mothers to breastfeed their babies. Our reporter Lungelena Makakule has more on that story.
World Breastfeeding Week is an annual celebration which is held every year from the 1st of August to the 7th of August in more than 120 countries. Director Health Services Dr. Vusi Makakula says breast milk helps keep a baby healthy and it also protects against allergies, sicknesses and obesity.
The benefits include, but are not limited to, the fact that in the milk, in the mother's milk, particularly those first few days, that mother's milk contains or acts like a vaccine. I'm using that one deliberately because these days we're talking about vaccine. It acts like a natural vaccine which will protect the child for over many weeks and protecting the child against certain illnesses. So we're stressing that it is important. You can only get it from the mother's milk cheaply, well, almost free from the mother.
He says having a breast milk bank in the country at the moment is a disadvantage because it is costly and the country does not have enough resources.
The problem will remain with that it is costly. We do not have some of the equipment that we will need to store the milk safely to be given to other children. So we really discouraged that process at the moment, but you are looking forward to the future because we know the reasons why we will need to have a breast milk bank or whatever it can be called, which is being that there are some mothers who may not have the milk, there are some mothers who will be having some other issues which prevent them from breastfeeding their babies.
He concluded by pleading with mothers to breastfeed their babies so that they are protected from illnesses. Reporting, I'm Lungenele Makakula in Babane.
Educators and support staff from different schools in the country have started to receive their jab. Speaking during the vaccination exercise, educators commend government for providing the vaccine at a time where and when it is greatly needed. The educators shared these sentiments during the vaccination exercise in Mbabane Central High School and MTS High School.
The government of Eswatini continues to vaccinate different sectors of its frontline workers and the elderly as per the prioritized plan. This exercise started with health workers, the elderly and those with comorbidities and is now moving to vaccinating educators as well as school support staff with the Johnson & Johnson's vaccine. This exercise commenced on Monday and is expected to end on the 6th of August 2021. Speaking during the exercise, which took place in Mbabane Central High and Metodorosa High School, educators expressed their gratitude to the government of Eswatini for providing the vaccine.
Angisiqeqesha kude health, however mangabe kubonakala ukuthi nayi indlela to go, so kufanele siyilandzele.
Ngidiva ngiphile kahle kakhulu kude la ngathi ukhinya beta khona kujova. I think it is the best thing to prevent than ukuthi uthole iCovid.
I was yearning to go back to work, yabon. So nyalo, I'm happy ukuthi sesi vaccinated, and I would definitely encourage other teachers ukuthi ba vaccinate. I know there are conspiracy theories and the social media is discouraging us from vaccinating, yabon. But I feel like we need to do it. We need to be safe, given the fact ukuthi lama cases nyalo ayanyuka. So we need to do it for our families as well.
According to the Ministry of Health's daily COVID-19 report, states that over 27,000 people have received their 2 doses of AstraZeneca vaccine, whilst over 38,000 are still waiting for their second dose. For Eswatini TV News, Sondomlangeni with Vumenkosinzinisa in Mbabane.
The vaccination exercise for the elderly and the over 40s resumed on Monday at Mhlambanyatsi constituency in Manzini. Dingizwe Chief Mbuqopho Pathive Masuku says residents are happy and grateful for this exercise as they were starting to worry due to the delay of the arrival of the team.
The resuming of vaccinations follows the arrival of the Johnson & Johnson vaccines last week, which was donated by the U.S. Currently eligible people are those 40 years and above in Tinkhundla centers that were not covered in the first round of the rollout. Mhlambanyati residents came in their numbers on Monday to vaccinate. By 11 in the morning, there were over 100 people that had registered and over 60 that had vaccinated. Butopo Pathive Masuku says the elderly particularly are happy that finally they are being vaccinated as they were starting to worry.
So namhla kubathokothisa kakhulu
ngatibongela nje kakhulu siyajabula abantu abami lokhu sisithole le mjovo.
A few residents we spoke to say they are grateful to government for ensuring their health as senior citizens because now that they have vaccinated, they are protected. They encouraged their peers to heed to government's call to register and vaccinate. All Eswatini 18 years of age and above are encouraged to pre-register for vaccination using the link eswatinihealth.org. Those being vaccinated should bring their pre-registration code and their national ID. Reporting, I'm Lungelele Makakula with Mozim Konda in Mhlambanyati.
The installation of probates from Punya to Mlindazo and Mhlambanyatsi comes with much anticipated development to the community, and as a result, bus fares have decreased from 25 Malangeni to 15 Malangeni when traveling from Punya to Mhlambanyatsi. Our reporter Lungelele Makakula has more on that story.
The rehabilitation of the Punya Mhlambanyatsi road through the installation of probates commenced in December last year and it was completed end of June this year. The road covers a distance of 14.5 kilometers from Punya to Mlindazwe in Mhlambanyatsi. Butopo of the Mlindazwe Chiefdom Stephen Zwane says the probates has bettered the lives of residents and motorists, particularly for pedestrians, as bus fares have decreased from 25 Malangeni to 15 Malangeni when traveling from Punya to Mhlambanyatsi. He says this development may open opportunities for investments.
That's about 20 minutes.
Motorists and residents are happy and appreciate the upgrade. They say before the purpose it would take them an hour or more to get to Mhlambanyatsi from Punya, but now it only takes 20 minutes. Reporting, I'm Lungelele Makakula with Mozim Konda in Mhlambanyatsi.
Ekukhulumeni, primary school pupils will enjoy the use of new toilets when schools open next week. This is through the help of micro projects, and the value of the toilets is about 490,000 emalangeni. The old toilets were in a dilapidated state to be used by pupils.
Ekukhulumeni Primary School under Nkwembisi constituency has had dilapidated toilets which could no longer be used by pupils for quite some time. The school's management wrote asking for assistance, where they got assistance from micro projects who built toilets to the value of 490,000 emalangeni. The school's principal, Kuku Mkonda, in a telephonic interview, appreciated the help from micro projects, stating that they came to their rescue when they could see it hygienically unfit for the toilets to be utilized by pupils.
Ema-toilet labasapheleyo ngicabanga asipita kakhulu balo ngoba lala madala vele besiyaka kangasebenziseki kubanisana seka-health hazard balo lawa siyakholwa ukuthi nangalesi se-COVID atasipita kakhulu umaintain ama-standards e-hygiene balo ne-sanitation esikolweni.
She says in the era of COVID-19, these toilets would help spread the disease less amongst pupils. Microprojects Director Sibusiso Mbingo says they have built about 168 classrooms in 56 schools, 50 door pit latrines in 25 schools, 4 units of flush toilets in 4 schools, 54 staff houses in 26 schools, and 10 kitchens in 10 schools. Recently, when high school pupils rioted after both sexes were made to share the same toilet. For Eswatini TV News, I'm Kian MCB with Fabrice Msonera, Ekukhulumeni Primary under the Nkwembisi constituency.
Well, Eswatini, now let's take a look at our financial report. Welcome back. Now we take a look at news making headlines in the world of sports. Athletics Association of Eswatini says its marketing wing has so far generated an amount of over 78,000 malangeni of the needed 200,000 malangeni to assist the national team under 20 in its preparations for the World Junior Champion Games in Kenya this month. This was revealed by the association's Secretary General Toba Mazibugo when speaking to Eswatini TV Sports.
At the beginning of the Olympic Games currently taking place in Tokyo, Japan, the Kingdom of Eswatini was represented by 4 different athletes from different sporting codes. Tabiso Dlamini from Boxing Association, Smangal Dlamini together with Robin Young, both from swimming, who have already been knocked out of the tournament. The country's hope is now on the shoulders of athlete Subsiso Matsenjwa, who is known as Swazibot, who will be competing this coming Tuesday. Matsenjwa is promising the country that come Tuesday, he is looking to represent well the country.
And I can't wait to race.
His coach, Muzima Buza, is confident that Matsenjwa has the chance to do well at this year's Olympic, judged on the preparations he had.
Lapha eJapan ngisho ukuthi into cishe time kahle i-track ngiyo le khombisa ukuthi i-fast njengoba sibona abanye lesibagijimile, and i-weather condition ikahle liyashisa kahle. Siyathemba ukuthi nalo athlete nasibuka likhona esimeni noma ke ku-form lesiniketa khona ukuthi he is going to challenge isikhathi sakhe, i-personal best yakhe, then ke nakuhambe kahle konke nakakhona ku-improve i-personal best yakhe naleso sikhathi tasperforma sesitawubona ukuthi sesibeka phi maswathi lamahle.
Matsenjwa, who is competing in his 3rd Olympics, will be competing in 200 meters on Tuesday in the early hours in the morning at 4 local time. For Eswatini TV Sports, Fabrice Msonera, picture sourced from the team in Tokyo.
Beautiful Kingdom of Eswatini. We apologize for the mix-up on our stories there. The story that we had was that Swazibot Matsenjwa says he's confident that he will raise the country's flag in high when he is competing in Tokyo, Japan. Now we move on. Athletics Association of Eswatini says its marketing wing has so far generated an amount of over 78,000 malangeni of the needed 200,000 malangeni to assist the national team under 20 in their preparations for the World Junior Champions Games in Kenya this month. This was revealed by the association's General Secretary Toba Mazibugo when speaking to Eswatini TV Sports.
The Kingdom of Eswatini's national team under 20 in the athletics category will head to Nairobi, Kenya this year to take part of this year's World Junior Championship Games. For the team to complete its journey to Nairobi, an amount of 200,000 emalangeni is needed. The marketing team that was established by the association last month to raise funds has so far managed to get a figure of around 78,000 emalangeni.
Marketing committee ikhonile ukuthi ithole imali engama 74 or 78,000.
The association's Secretary General Tobama Zibuko says they have hope that with the funds they have now, other stakeholders such as Eswatini Sports and Recreation Council will be able to assist them in raising the balance.
Basithembisile ukuthi nabo batasibambisa asesifaka umfutho kule marketing yethu.
Athletes include Menzoguhle Msibi, who is the team captain, Ayanda Malaza, Menzimbingo and Lishekinitsa. The team is full of confidence after clinching a bronze medal during their invitation at the Botswana National Championship in May this year. The Nairobi Games will begin from the 17th to the 22nd this month. For Eswatini TV Sports, Fabrice Msonera, Babane.
Well, Eswatini, that brings us to the conclusion of our news bulletin at 8 here at Eswatini TV. But before we go, here's a quick reminder of our top stories tonight. The Prime Minister has announced that the country is moving to adjusted level 3 as of midnight and the reopening of schools on the 9th of August 2021 under the new adjusted level. The Minister for Health says people who have passed on due to COVID-19 have had underlying illnesses such as high blood pressure and diabetes. And the Director for Health Services says the rate of breastfeeding in Eswatini stands at 63%. Beautiful Kingdom of Eswatini, that brings us to the conclusion of our news bulletin at 8 here at Eswatini TV. Thank you so much for choosing to stay with us. We shall cross over to the Weather Center for a detailed weather report from us and the rest of the transmission crew at Eswatini TV. For now, it's good night and God bless.
Everywhere you go, MTN.